Hope everyone's doing great. So this is a stock market recap for June 28th, and we'll look at some news that happened today as well. So as you can see here, you can kind of see the heat map for today. Only thing that was really green was all green was energy. As you can see here, some of big cap tech got hit, pretty badly. Facebook was up actually, interestingly, today. Can have a little peek around here. Financials are they somewhat came back down. There's a few. Morgan Stanley is up, but yeah. Then we'll look at the big cap tech companies. I'd like to have a peek at these. They were down a good amount today for sure. As you can see, Nvidia, everything was kind of down a fair amount. Qualcomm was green today. They had some news. It was that Apple will currently have to rely on Qualcomm chips because they are unable to develop their own 5G chips. Apparently, Apple failed at that, so they're going to be sticking with Qualcomm, and that is why you see it up today. And everything else is kind of down. Also, last night Nike released their earnings. As you can see clearly, it was a good earnings, but the market didn't like the guidance, I believe, that they offered and the uncertainty around China. So as you can see, they're down 7% today. It was a good earnings, but the market's really picky these days, and it just didn't like the guidance, I believe. So, but you could argue that they're going to, under promise and then over deliver. But again, they're in China a lot. So, I had my own thoughts on that previously. To me, it's just too much of a wild card of the Chinese government. It's far too much of a wild card, which speaking of, we're going to have a little peek at the China COVID cases. This feeds into a lot, including oil prices, obviously. As you can see here, at the big peak, if we want to, we'll put it up to 3 months, and you can see clearly they're opening up. Well, if you just look at kind of the news here, which COVID zero is just a whole other thing. I don't think that's attainable at all. The fact that they're saying they have zero COVID cases, I think, is just a lie in itself. How is that how is that possible to have zero COVID in China, the most populated country in the entire world? So anyways, look at the S&P, finished down 2% today. Then recently I've been liking to compare it to the S&P TSX up in Canada here. It is down 0.18, and also highlighting this because I like to show us off a bit. As you can see here, the great outperformance recently. It's interesting to say for sure. Definitely, obviously, we're very correlated, as you can see, but we've definitely outperformed. It's very interesting to see. Of note, I don't know how long it'll last. Some of these guys, some people in here said that it will last till the end of the year, but you can see here, well, it's recession risks. So, but Canada's stock market is, it's heavily financial and energy and material weighted. So it's very, very value weighted. So that's kind of why it's outperforming the US. Nasdaq was down 3%, volatile day for it as always. Pull up a little 1-year chart here. You can see it's had quite the slide down. We'll pull up just a 1-year chart of the S&P because why not? It's fun to look at that. Still in the bear market. Maybe this bear market bounce is over. I don't really know, to be honest at all. It's all obviously it didn't like the economic data at all today. The economic data it was not good. It definitely surprised, and that's why we were down a lot today. Pretty much as soon as that news hit, the S&P and all the major averages kind of just slid down, and then just pretty much finished where they are at. So we still have some inflation data. I think it's Thursday, and some more economic data throughout the week. So it's all going to depend on what the market is going to do. I can't predict at all what the economic data is going to be. You have estimates and stuff, but in my mind, it's not worth trying to predict what it's going to be and trade it. I really wouldn't. I would just focus on the longish medium term, especially because, well, you don't know what's going to happen with this economic data. So it's obviously very important as well. we'll have a look at the Dow just quickly here, down 1.5 on the day. Was I guess we'll look at somewhat average-ish volume day, maybe a bit below average, you could say. Below, I guess below average, depends what you look at, I guess. But so looking at some more news here, this is up in Canada, well, partially in the US too, because Exxon and Imperial sold in all cash. We'll look at it here, kind of their assets in Montney and Duvernay for all cash, and Whitecap also increased their dividend to 22%. And if you look at kind of what it does here, I'll skip through all this. Whoops. Oopsies, here we go. I just wanted to show how much it's going to increase production for, what is it? Hold on. 1.9 billion, all cash. And they increased dividend by 22%, which is great. I love it. They're obviously, they're trying to make the shareholders happy. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow morning. I hope we're going to be up. I really like the deal. I wouldn't be surprised if we're down, 5% just because we're doing the deal, but whatever. I'm really happy with it. As you can see here, look at this. Immediately it changes, that 6% change, and you look here and look at this. Boom. And on top of, you acquire, well, look at all these acres, and you're basically just condensing land. I believe you're condensing land that you already own. So you're kind of just sticking all the puzzle pieces together and buying land that is directly adjacent to land that you already have. They are going to have a meeting tomorrow morning. I'm going to be watching that for sure. It'll be interesting. They kind of just scheduled impromptu, so just announced today. Be very interesting to see that. Honestly, I'm super happy with the deal. I know I'm obvious. The only thing is obviously, the high commodity prices, you could definitely say, have inflated the land prices. I believe I saw that in January it was valued at 1 billion because Exxon and them were trying to sell it, and it was valued at about 1 billion. This was pre-war. Oil was nowhere near where it is now, and it's now 1.9 billion. And really, I don't know, maybe a lot. I think it's a really good deal. At the end of the day, you could argue, a lot of things, interest rates are higher than ever. They made, yeah, you can see here, committed to a 4-year. They made it, basically added some new debt, which is, you could argue you don't really want to be doing that these days. A lot of companies are paying it down, but I really think now is maybe the best time to just buy that land, because we are going to have like a huge energy problem for a very long time. If you look at Eric Nuttall, I really like him. He's got all kinds of numbers, and he's all about oil and stuff. If you have, I'll have to pull it up, make another video about it sometime here. But some more energy news. You can see Cardinal here. They basically are starting to buy back shares, which surprised me last night. I was super happy to see it. Had a big update today along with everything else, and they're doing what we're going to try and do, the full 10% that they're allowed. Love it. I'm super happy about it. It was somewhat unexpected. They never really talked about it. They did. I talked to them personally, but they were more focused on very much dividends. But since, well, if we look here, they already have a 7.55% dividend, and the stock price has taken a beating recently, along with all the other oil companies, but it's trying to rebound here. You want to we'll just look at the XCG just quickly here, just for reference. So you can see it's pretty much just correlated with that. But anyways, so they didn't want to increase the dividend, even though they told me that they're really focused on dividend. They're a big dividend payer, and they would focus, if they had cash left, they told me that they would consider buying back shares, and after that, later on, they would look at some M&A and acquisition stuff. But clearly they decided to kind of change it up a little and do buybacks now, because your dividend is already high enough. They said that they will increase the dividend if it goes to 4 or 5%. This is about a month ago. They told me if dividend goes to 4 or 5%, so basically the stock price goes up to whatever amount it is, then they will increase the dividend. But clearly it hasn't really. They achieved their debt target, I believe, at the end, because it is the end of Q2, and that was one of their first debt targets. So they decided to buy back the most shares they can, which I love. Market liked it too. I think we have a lot more to run. We also have the dividends starting here right away monthly. And then, well, you've seen it, it's like 7.5% right now. They'll be paid July 15th every month, 5 cents a share. Looking at Crescent, just to look at it, I'm a huge energy bull, so I like this. I like Crescent a lot. Have a super low PE. Definitely had a very good day today. I was super happy. And yeah, it's kind of it for today. Lots of decent amount of news up in Canada here and recently, I guess. I was kind of shocked by this white cap news, and I hope the market likes it. I think we're going to be down 5% or whatever it is tomorrow, just because we're doing a deal. It's just kind of what happens when any company does a deal. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if we finish up, because I really like this deal. And obviously, you see dividend increased by 22%, and it's all cash too. And we'll just, I know it's up in Canada here. I don't know how many people watch me in the US, but like we're gonna get a lot more production. I don't know. I'm really happy with it. And they're just consolidating it. Definitely shook me, and I didn't see it coming at all. But love it, love it. I really do. Just have one final look at a little bit of a heat map for the S&P. Big cap tech definitely got hit today, quite a fair amount. Facebook was up though, but as you can see, kind of big cap tech got pretty hit today. Definitely led to the indexes going down. Energy was the only one in the green. Well, that's all in the green anyways. I don't know all the exact sectors, but anyways though, so that is it, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed and hope everyone's doing great.